What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Busta, and today we are rebuilding the Cleveland Browns. I know we did this one about 2 months ago, but with the emergence of news coming from Cleveland, with Myles Garrett wanting to trade, Deshaun Watson re-injuring his leg, Jameis Winston going out into free agency. Technically, he could re-sign, but we don't know. We don't really know what's going on with the coaching situation. Apparently, Madden seems to believe that Kevin Stefanski is going to be fired. If he hasn't already, I could be behind the loop on that and forgetting it. And just the lack of talent outside of Myles Garrett. We're going to get in here. We're going to try to rebuild this team the right way. They have the second overall pick in the draft. So let's get into it. And taking a look at the team, of course, as I mentioned, we don't really have a good quarterback solution. We're hurting at receiver. We're hurting at running back. The offensive line is in a tough spot. Defensively, of course, Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, the stars of the show. We have a lot of other people that are, good. Emerson is decent. Grant Delpit is pretty good. The linebacker core needs some help. The defensive line, again, is good with Myles Garrett, but outside of that, you really need some help. So we are going to try to get in, move some pieces around, and get this team back into the playoffs. And taking a look at the award winners, we know by this time that Josh Allen won the NFL MVP. In Madden, it goes to Lamar. Coach of the Year going to Kevin O'Connell. We don't find ourselves in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, of course, is going to be there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we don't have anybody on the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we don't have anybody there. Best Quarterback, I know we're not going to have anybody. Best Running Back, no shot. Best Wide Receiver, Jerry Jeudy sneaks onto the list at 9. Best Offensive Lineman, not going to have anybody there. Best Defensive Lineman, of course, Myles Garrett's going to be there, but he's not going to be with us for long. Best linebacker, nobody on the list. Best defensive back, nobody there. And best kicker, still nobody on the list. And taking a look at the Super Bowl, of course, this was the Super Bowl most NFL fans wanted. Washington against Buffalo. Buffalo wins 31-14. All right, so what we're going to do here is we are bringing Kevin Stefanski back in. I'm not getting rid of him. We'll bring him back. I don't really know how to feel about him as a head coach, but he's still the head coach of the Browns currently, so that's who's going to be there. And we need an offensive coordinator. Going to look for somebody that has, let's look for an offensive coordinator that has that Cleveland. There we go, Will Hudson. He's got halfback guru, though. I'd love somebody with... we're just going to do Will Hudson. Actually, I take that back. We're going to change it up. We're going Michael Edwards. He's got the Kansas City playbook. So we're just going to jump straight to that, do a little bit of cheese in this rebuild. And he's got quarterback guru. Before we get too far into this, guys, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 200 subscribers. I can taste it. So go ahead and hit that button so we can get there. And y'all can be here from the beginning as we start our journey into the YouTube world. Now let's get back into it. And looking at the players we need to re-sign, we don't have a lot of money. And I think the only one I'd be interested in is Jedrick Wills, but we're going to try to chase after him once he hits free agency, try to pay a little less. Everybody else can go. I'm not bringing anybody else back. None of these players are going to be impactful on this team, including Nick Chubb. He's just regressed so much in Madden that we're going to look for an answer elsewhere. Well, these are the only two people we're interested in bringing in this offseason. Javonte Williams, a young running back, has a little bit of room to grow, and Jedrick Wills, try to bring him back, secure that left tackle spot. Let's see who we get. And we just get Javante. We do lose out on Jedrick Wills, so we're going to have to look at another left tackle option. All right, we're going after Allar Johnson. Try to see if we can get him maybe just a replacement left tackle for the time being. And we bring him in. He's decently young, decent overall. He's just going to be a placeholder for a year or two until we can find our replacement. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to send Myles Garrett to the Rams. It's a team that doesn't care about first round picks at all or draft picks. If they know they're getting a superstar, they've made trades like this before. So I'm hoping maybe they accept this one. I haven't seen yet. We're about to find out here live. And they do. We get 3 first round picks from the Rams. They're probably all going to be late day picks, but we can use them as trade bait, or we just get 2 first round picks for the next 3 years to help fill out this roster. And now here we are with the second pick in the NFL draft. And the biggest need on the team is to try to fix that pass rush that we just ruined. So we're going to bring in Mykel Williams, a 6'5" power rusher out of Georgia. He looks like probably one of the better pass rushers in the draft alone, especially for a top team. So bringing him in is going to be a big, big goal for us. Huge move towards the future. Was ranked at 5. We got him at 2. He's hidden dev. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns. And now here with our second pick in the first round, we're taking Tyleik Williams. He's going to be great for our defensive line. Really get us just moving in the right direction. Ranked at 67, got him at 26. Normal dev, but he's probably going to see the field. And here in the second, with our second round pick, we are taking Tez Johnson. We need another receiver. This guy's got elite speed, elite agility, elite acceleration. Was a fantastic guy at Oregon. We're bringing him in, pair him with Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku to try to get our offense rolling. Welcome to the team. Ranked at 36, got him at 34. Only normal dev, but 97 speed. He's going to be a playmaker. And now we're going to bring in a middle linebacker in Jay Higgins. He's the best on the board. He's a scheme fit. Let's get him in here in the third round. We got a little early in a normal dev, so not great. And with the last pick in the third round, we have it. We're bringing in Drew Allar out of Penn State. I don't think he's going to do anything, but he's probably going to be our quarterback for this year. Ranked at 119, got him at 96. Hidden dev, he could be our quarterback of the future. All right, this is a guy we're going to move to left outside linebacker in J.J. Weaver out of Kentucky. A good run-stopping linebacker, somebody to add to the team. I think he's going to be pretty good. He's not. He's not rated good at all. Well, taking a look at the draft recap, Mykel Williams, a 78 overall. He's going to be a great player, a great pass rusher. Tyleik Williams, we'll see. The jury's still out. Tez Johnson, he's going to be good. I don't know about Jay Higgins. Drew Allar, I am going to do the preseason training with him. He's going to get time. Hopefully he grows and we can get like a rookie of the year and a good dev trait with him. I'm going to make sure he starts. J.J. Weaver, probably going to be a backup guy. And same goes for the rest of these guys. Probably all backup guys. Well, before we get into year one, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how we've changed the roster so far. And as you can see, Drew Allar has already surpassed even Deshaun Watson, and he is going to be the lead guy. We brought in Javante Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Tez Johnson getting the number 2 spot. Alaric Jackson, who we brought in the free agency, we're going to look to replace hopefully next year. Joe Bitonio, Eric Pochich, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin. We got some age on this line, so we're going to try to replace these guys soon. And even David Njoku, hopefully that superstar tight end can help our rookie quarterback out. Defensively, of course, we brought in, I think Mykel Williams. And that's kind of all we brought in a bunch of second string guys, but nobody that's a real difference maker per se. We got Greg Newsome back. We still have Martin Emerson Jr., Denzel Ward. So we still need to make some strides on this defensive line, but we're working in the right direction. We have 2 more picks this coming season, this coming draft. So hopefully we can make those changes then. And at the midseason, we have some people to re-sign. My issue is I don't know how many of these people I want to overpay. We're going to start with Greg Newsome, who we are going to make sure we keep around. David Njoku can probably go, and I think the way we're going to move on from him is via trade. Not going to look for anything too spectacular, but if we can get, people are often offering a lot here, but my goal, truthfully, is only to get some picks. So we're going to go for a second and a third next year. That should get our picks. That's perfectly fine. He's an aging tight end. Diabate, I don't know. We'll wait till the end of the season, see how he develops. And I'm kind of feeling the same about everybody else. Wyatt Teller, we can look to replace him in the draft. He's 30, so he's only going to regress, and we're going to have to pay him. I don't want to overpay a bunch of people when we can replace these guys with younger talent. And at the midseason, we're 2-5, which isn't great, but not terrible. I guess a tough schedule. It looks like we're scoring points. And we're going to focus scout receiver here, just because even with Tez Johnson as at the 2 spot, we still are going to need another. Now, Drew Allar is only a star dev, but playing up to a 75, so he's developing, which is good for us. Now, we are losing out on our good tight end, and Tez Johnson isn't playing up, which Jerry Jeudy was. Defensively, Mykel Williams, a superstar dev talent. That's awesome. Hopefully, he just continues to develop and grow from there, and we, have successfully found our replacement for Myles Garrett. Now, taking a look at our stats, Drew Allar turned the ball over a lot, but it is his rookie year, so we're going to be patient with him. Hopefully, he doesn't lose that dev trait. Javonte Williams not running super well. It looks like he's splitting some carries, though, with Jerome Ford, but still, 3.4 a carry is not great. Jerry Jeudy with 438 yards and 5 touchdowns. Tez Johnson, almost 302 touchdowns. Cedric Tillman, 304 touchdowns. Need a little bit more. Don't know what Njoku had, though. Defensively, Jordan Hicks leading the way in tackles. Mike Hall Jr. in TFLs. Mykel Williams tied, though, with 6. A sack not a lot of sacks. Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle, has 1. Our rookie, Mykel Williams, doesn't even have a sack yet. 5 picks for Denzel Ward, though, is good. 2 for Ronnie Hickman, 1 for Grant Delpit, and 1 for Juan Thornhill. So from there, we're going to go ahead and hop to the end of the season. I'm going to stop at week 13. Do some focus scouting, and unless anything's changed, we'll see y'all at the playoffs. And taking a look at the stats to end of the year, Drew Allar does surpass 4,000 yards, but throws 21 picks, 30 touchdowns, though. If he can build on that and go into next year, he's going to have an incredible year. I know he's going to be the guy we roll with from here on out. I'm not going to let him lose his dev trait. I doubt he's going to gain one, but if he did, that'd be cool. Rushing, we got to figure something out because Javonte Williams may not be the guy. 588 yards, 10 touchdowns. Double-digit touchdowns isn't bad. Drew Allar with 3 rushing touchdowns. That's kind of nice. Receiving, Cedric Tillman finds his way over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy with 888 and 5 touchdowns. Tez Johnson, 736 and 4 touchdowns. Cameron Latou, I bet you Njoku had a lot of stats, a lot of those. Defensively, Jordan Hicks leads the way in tackles. Michael Williams in tackles for loss with 14. Michael Jr. behind him with 10. And Tyleek Williams, the backup defensive tackle, in sacks with 4. I'd like to see more sacks out of Michael Williams. It seems as Ogbo, well, he's on the right end. So I don't know why he's not getting the sacks there. And then 7 picks for Denzel Ward, 3 for Grant Delpit, 2 for Jordan Hicks, 2 for Ronnie Hickman, 1 for JOK, and 1 for Juan Thornhill. We end the year going 5-12, but that is not a big deal. We're gonna get a top draft pick. Let's see. Are we gonna get? We're gonna have maybe the best. Oh no, not. We're second best draft pick in the AFC, as we are at the 15th seed. But I have no concerns. Let's get into this offseason. Let's make the changes we need to, and let's just come back in year 2. And taking a look at the award winners, Josh Allen winning MVP, Jim Harbaugh Coach of the Year. We don't have anybody on either list. Now, Offensive Player of the Year, we have nobody there. Defensive Player of the Year, we have nobody there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Drew Allar at 7, so I don't mind that. And Tez Johnson at 10. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Tyleek Williams is at 7. Best quarterback, we're not. Drew Allar at 10. Okay, that's interesting. Best running back, Javonte Williams at 9. Best wide receiver, Cedric Tillman at 8. Best offensive lineman, nobody there. Best defensive lineman, nobody there. Best linebacker, not on that list either. Best defensive back goes to Denzel Ward. Best kicker, not on the list. And the Super Bowl champions are the San Francisco 49ers, beating out the Baltimore Ravens 24-17. They finally get theirs. And taking a look at the players we need to re-sign, I'm not bringing any of them back, really. Ronnie Hickman, he can go. He doesn't want to be back. We're not going to overpay a mediocre safety. And I think everybody else can go too. We're not overpaying aging bad players. All right, well, there's a lot of people that we could try to sign in the free agency, but with $63 million, I'm not overpaying somebody to put myself in a bad spot later. And these guys are all aging. I'm not paying some dude top dollar that doesn't want to come to Cleveland. So we're gonna just go straight to the draft. We're gonna worry about it when we get to the draft and try to just solely improve there. Well, did we hit the jackpot? Because here we are in the draft, and we have the number 1 pick. Now, I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, because none of these players seem like really good top-of-the-line players. Now, maybe I draft a tackle, or maybe we trade back and we pick somebody else, because I think there are a lot of needs. So what we're going to do, we're going to trade back. And I think we're going to send this pick to Seattle for the 6th pick. We get a 2nd this year, a bunch of other picks. And that gives us the ability to really build this team. And now my screen's broken, so we're just going to go ahead. Oh, we have pick 4 too. So we have pick 4. We had pick 1 and pick 4. I might trade this away as well. I really don't know what to do. All right, here's what we need to do. We need to build around Drew Allar. That's what we're going to do with this pick. A left tackle and Mike Hayes. Secure this offensive line. 4th pick in the draft. He's a hidden dev left tackle. That's all that matters. Welcome to the team. And now we have the 6th pick, where I'm really confused on what I want to do. There are several different roles that I wish we could draft, but I think our number 1 priority is going to be Jose McQueen. He's the best left end or right end on the board. He's a speed rusher. He's a scheme fit. It's exactly what we need. Try to fix this defensive line up, and he's hidden dev, which is great for us. All right, here we're taking Terrence Youngblood, a top safety. We don't have one. We need one. Let's bring him to the team. We have 3 picks this draft. Another hidden dev player added to the team. What more could you ask for? And here we have a tight end that's a top 5 talent in the draft. We just got rid of David Njoku. So let's bring in Brody Costanzo in the second round with pick 38. Ranked at 5, got him at 38, and a hidden dev. This team's going to be great. All right, here we have a guy that looks like an incredible athlete. Justin Pitts, we need just one more receiver. He's a physical guy, 6'5", round 1 talent. Ranked at 16, got him at 40, and another hidden dev. Welcome to the team. Now we need a left outside linebacker. Armand McAllister is a scheme fit, a round 1 to 2 talent. So we're bringing him in. Ranked at 28, we got him at 68, and another hidden dev. All right, Montel Barkley looks like a great offensive lineman for us to add to our team. So let's bring him aboard, try to build these trenches up, and another hidden dev player. And Tim Adams looks like about the best guy left, so we're going to give him a shot at center. And ranked at 9, got him at 100, and another hidden dev. This draft class is broken. This is normal draft classes. Well, we just had, look at this draft. Look at all those 70-plus overalls that we just pulled in. We started with Mike Hayes, a left tackle, Jose McQueen, a right end, a free safety in Terrence Youngblood, a tight end in Brody Costanzo, Justin Pitts, the wide receiver. All those guys are hidden dev. Armand McAllister, hidden dev. Montel Barkley, hidden dev. Tim Adams, hidden dev. Juan Hewitt, I don't know, but he was I simulated after round 4. Even the computer brought in 170 plus overall pick. We brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 70 overall picks ourselves, and then a 9th. And this guy could be hidden dev too. And before we get into year 2, let's take a look at this team after we added all the pieces. Of course, Drew Allar starting to develop nicely. Hopefully he can get away from those interceptions this year. Justin Pitts, a wide receiver we brought in as a wide receiver 3. Alaric Jackson's almost an 80 overall, so that's good enough. Caused me to move Haynes to the right guard spot where he moved up 3 overall. We still have Costanzo, of course, the rookie tight end, the rookie center, rookie left guard that we brought in. Offense is young, but it's ready to develop. This is like almost a modern-day Green Bay team. Green Bay has a better running back than Javon Williams, but super young team, ready to grow. Defensively, Tyleek Williams made his way up to defensive tackle 1. Mike Hall Jr. developing nicely. Hopefully Michael Williams can get some more sacks this year. Brought in Jose McQueen in the draft. Another hidden dev up to a 76. Terrence Youngblood is going to take over that free safety role excellently. Higgins, who we drafted last year, gets to start. Hopefully he can develop. He's still young enough. And then Armand McAllister, who we brought in as a left outside guy. Another hidden dev player that I think is going to be really good. All right, well, we're at the midseason, and we have a bunch of cap room to start re-signing people. And I think we're going to start with Grant Delpit, who doesn't really want to be here, but I think we can make him stay. We're going to have to mess with that a little bit. Everybody else, though, can... everybody else can go. We will... we don't have to mess with any of that. We'll just let everybody else walk. We'll make sure to keep Grant Delpit. And we are currently 4-2, which is awesome. We're winning games. I'm excited to look at our stats. First, we're going to check out this national focus. And we are going to focus scout cornerbacks. I don't think we need a receiver anymore. Cornerback is definitely our weak, easy spot or good late day spot to get people. And I do want to see if we know any dev traits. Okay, so we do know that Justin Pitts is star, Costanzo's star, Tim Adams is star. Haynes is star. Or Hayes is star. So that shakes out the offensive depth traits. Defensively, Jose McQueen is star. Youngblood is superstar. We do not know McAllister's yet, but that's a good role. We got so far 1 superstar, 2 dev traits left to find out. Can't be upset with that. And taking a look at the stats, Drew Allar, 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, so he has gotten that under control. Rushing, Javonte Williams, he's got more yards of carry this year than he did last year, but still not a lot. 4.4, only 2 touchdowns, 289 yards. Receiving, Tez Johnson leading the way, 370 and 3 touchdowns. Justin Pitts, 294 and 6 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy with 279 and 3. And Costanzo not playing a super huge part in the offense yet, but I think he will get there as we are running Kansas City's offense. Defensively, Jay Higgins leading the way in tackles is a good sign. Mykel Williams leading the way in tackles for loss. And Tyleik Williams leading the way in sacks with 3. I wish Mykel Williams would get a little bit more. Jose McQueen, the rookie, with 1. Grant Delpit with a half a sack. 2 picks for Greg Newsome, 2 for Keontae Scott, 1 for Grant Delpit, 1 for Jay Higgins, and 1 for Terrence Youngblood. I'm going to go ahead, do my focus scouting of Week 13. If nothing's different, we'll see y'all at the end of Year 2. Well, we're at the end of Year 2, and Drew Allar did improve on the year, or in his second year in the league. 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. That's a heck of an improvement. So congratulations to him. He cemented himself as our starter moving forward. Now, we may need to figure something out at the running back spot as Javonte Williams, 871 yards, 9 touchdowns. Drew Allar almost matching him in touchdowns there with 5. Receiving, Jerry Jeudy leading the way. No 1,000-yard receiver this go-round. 898 and 11. Tez Johnson with 851 and 8. Brody Costanzo, he did come around. 832 yards, 4 touchdowns. The rookie, 744 and 9 touchdowns. Defensively, JOK leading the way in tackles, 1 over Jay Higgins. Tyleik Williams leading the way in tackles for a loss right behind Mike Hall. And we're slowly growing in sacks as Tyleik Williams leads the way with 9.5. Mykel Williams with 6. Jose McQueen, the rookie, with 5. Armand McAllister with 1. And J.J. Weaver with 1. And then a couple of half sacks. 4 picks for Grant Delpit. 4 for Greg Newsome. 2 for Keontae Scott. 1 for JOK. 1 for Jay Higgins. And 1 for Terrence Youngblood. Nothing for Denzel Ward there, which is surprising. But we go 8-9, which is an improvement. Nothing to be upset about. We still have some moves to make. Now, granted, we're probably going to get fired as an owner because I haven't even re-signed anybody, but we're just steady losing money. I guess it's because we're not winning that many home games. I don't know how to make the whole owner thing work, so I'm probably just going to get fired and become the head coach. And taking a look at the yearly awards, we don't find... Oh, Drew Allar actually is coming in at 7th for the MVP voting. Coach of the Year, I didn't imagine seeing us there. Now, Offensive Player of the Year, we don't have anybody on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody is there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Pitts comes in at 2. Costanzo at 5. Defensive Rookie, Jose McQueen at 4. Best Quarterback, Drew Allar at 6. Best Running Back, Javonte Williams at 7. Best Wide Receiver, Jerry Jeudy at 10. Best Offensive Lineman, do we have anybody? Hayes at 5. That's the only player on the list. Best Defensive Lineman, Tyleik Williams at 9. Best Linebacker, nobody on the list. And Best Defensive Back, Grant Delpit at 2. Greg Newsome at 8. And Best Kicker, we are still not on that list. All right, well, we just got fired, so we had to come back as Kevin Stefanski now. Wouldn't let me do that from the get-go, which I don't understand. Now, why won't it let me? It won't let me look at the Super Bowl, but to me, I think Kansas City won. Yeah, Kansas City won 35 to 31. I don't get to look at all the other stuff, but I do want to look. Well, we don't have any new dev traits on the offensive side of the ball, but I'm not upset. Drew Allar, well, everybody is developing wonderfully. I'm gonna try to draft a right tackle this year, bring one in, get Jack Conklin out of here, get a nice right tackle going, and try to develop these guys even more going into next year. Defensively, Youngblood actually does lose his dev trait. So does McAllister. Higgins goes up to star dev though, so I'm not really upset about that. McAllister is going to be good enough in that spot. Hopefully, he continues to develop. Tyleek Williams goes up to star. I want to see if he got a double jump. He did not. But everything else looks great. We can continue to build this defense and build this team. We're young. We have a lot of cap room, so we have nothing to worry about. Well, like I said earlier, we aren't re-signing anybody. We kept Grant Delpit, but he's the only person that I was really interested in keeping around. We are taking 171 million into the free agency, and this may be the year that we finally start signing some people. Well, I told y'all this year we were finally signing somebody, and we're signing Brandon Aubrey. There's just nobody in the free agency, so we're going to take it to year 4. I mean, we have all the money. Why not? And I'm sure we're going to have some people to re-sign. And we get Brandon Aubrey, so we upgraded kicker. Nothing to complain about there. Well, we're here at the draft, and we have 3 first-round picks this year. I don't think we're going to get the player we really want to, but I think we're just going to pick 3 first-round picks. Yeah, the player we wanted went 1 of 1, so we weren't going to get that. We were going after a right tackle there, but there is still another left tackle or right tackle on the board. All right, well, Bobby Oliver looks like the best tackle available currently. Round 1 to 2 talent. Hopefully, a hidden dev, and he is a right tackle. We sure up that position. Not a lot to build on, or not a lot to upgrade from there. We got a pick at pick 15. We're going to add another corner, this time in George McLeod. A lot of good grades. He's top 5. We're getting him at pick 15. Ranked at 2, got him at 15. Again, hidden dev. All right, in here we're going to bring in Mike Payne. Looks like the best defensive tackle available. Just try to shore that up, get somebody next to Tyleek Williams. Ranked at 6, got him at 25. Another hidden dev. Look at us improving the team. All right, we're going after Taylor Gervasi here in the 2nd round. A hidden dev. We're going to actually move him to left outside. He's a run stopper. I think he's going to fit perfectly there. All right, this guy looks like a really good slot receiver, and that's what we need, as we did lose Cedric Tillman. So we're going to bring in George Tatum here. Ranked at 27, got him at 69. Only a normal dev, but he's a slot guy. Here we have Thad McClain. Is going to be a backup tight end, but he looks like a good player. We're just trying to bring... He's not a good player. I regret that. And taking a look at the draft recap, a bunch of 70-plus overall players. We kind of dipped out after this pick right here, Thad McCain, but the computer had our back there with Dion Dunlap. But yeah, a lot of good players. Bobby Oliver is going to be a starting right tackle right out the gate. George McLeod is going to be a 3rd-string corner. Mike Payne is probably going to be a defensive tackle too. Taylor Gervasi, we're going to move to left outside real quick. And he doesn't change there. He's still a 74 overall. 74 for George Tatum. We got a lot of good pieces here. We're going to continue to build this team, and hopefully we win a couple more games and can find our way into the playoffs in year 3. And as we take a look at the team before we get into year 3, you got to feel good about it. Drew Allar, truly an 86 overall. Javonte Williams is still developing a little bit, but we're going to look for a replacement this coming off season. We couldn't find one this past one. The receiver position looks good. We need some superstars or some X factors. I'm hoping we get that with growth and with stats this year. Defensively, we bring in Payne, who I said was probably going to be the defensive tackle too. He's right there, defensive tackle too. McLeod playing up to an 80 as the CB3. McAllister, we're going to let him roll. He is a scheme fit. He did lose his dev trait last year, but he's still young enough, and he's better than Gervasi. And if I try to bench him, it's just not going to work. So we're going to let that roll. Youngblood, Delpit, everybody's playing good. Everybody's a scheme fit. I mean, we have essentially 2 spots on the team where we don't have hidden dev or some sort of developmental trait, which I really, really love. Now we're going to go ahead and get to the midseason, see what kind of players we need to re-sign, and see how the team's performing. Well, we have $202 million, and we're going to keep Denzel Ward around. We have the money to do so. He's staying. JOK, he's going to be paid like a pass rusher essentially, but he's going to stay. Jerry Jeudy, we're going to see. Javonte, we're not keeping. Actually, we might go ahead and just pay Jerry Jeudy. We're gonna keep Jerry Jeudy. Oh, well, I mean, he's 28. We're gonna work with him. He signs. Okay, so he signs a 3-year deal. Now Javonte probably we're gonna let go. He doesn't want to be here. We're not gonna overpay him. We're gonna see how we can take $133 million into the free agency and make it work. And we are 5-2, which is really, really good. So we don't really have a lot to worry about there. I'm gonna swap. Yeah, we're gonna swap this to wide receiver because if there's if Quincy Taylor's just unreal, we'll probably try to trade up and move off of Jerry Jeudy and just get a superstar like X Factor style receiver. Okay, Bobby Oliver is only a star dev, but he's developing, so I feel good about that. We're going to look for a right guard this coming year and move Hayes back out to left tackle. We'll let Allar Jackson walk. Drew Allar, I mean, playing up to a 91 overall. This team's playing up. I like it. Defensively, yeah, we don't know Payne's. Okay, McLeod was only a star dev. We don't know Gervasi's. We don't know Stevens. We're not going to find those out until the end of the year, but stuff's looking good. And taking a look at the stats, Drew Allar, 1,800 yards, 19 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. That's some pretty good kind of midseason stats there. Rushing, Javonte, I feel like that's a bump up from previous years. I mean, not as far as average goes, but yardage-wise, 306. Not a lot of attempts, so I'm happy with that. 4 receivers over 450 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jerry Jeudy, 6 for Justin Pitts, and 6 for Tez Johnson. Defensively, Jay Higgins leading the way in tackles, looking like he's going to get another dev trait this year. Tyleik Williams leading the way in TFLs. And Tyleik Williams leading the way in sacks, tied with Michael Williams with 3, 2.5 for Jose McQueen, 1.5 for Mike Payne, the rookie, and 0.5 for Jay Higgins, 0.5 for Grant Delpit. 4 picks for Denzel Ward, 2 for Delpit, 1 for JOK, 1 for Greg Newsome, 1 for the rookie George McLeod, and 1 for Keontae Scott. I really like this. Drew Allar is what? Hold up. Passing yard leaders, Will Levis on LA and Anthony Richardson on Tennessee are leading the way. I haven't seen that before. And Denzel Ward leading the way in interceptions. Jay Higgins in tackles with 68. That's exciting. Now at 5-2, we are the number 2 seed in the division behind Tennessee. Okay, this is all screwed up. But we are the 2 seed, so I feel really good going to the playoffs. I'm going to stop, do some focus scouting. If anything drastic happens, y'all will see me. If not, we will see y'all at the playoffs. Well, guys, I have bad news. We go 9-8. We fell off. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody got hurt. Well, it seems as if Javonte Williams did get hurt. I don't know how long he's been hurt for or how big of an impact that played. We really seemed like a run-heavy or a pass-heavy offense before, but that could have been the case. Drew Allar, though, playing up to a 93 overall. I mean, the team's playing fantastically. Like, everybody's playing up, everybody's developing. Defensively, we still don't know Payne's dev trait yet, but everybody else is playing up. Well, I just looked at Mike Payne's dev trait, and he is superstar dev, which is a fantastic trait to have. So if he loses it, we're just going to give it back to him. He didn't get a lot of playing time this year. I want him to have that dev trait. And taking a look at the stats, I mean, Drew Allar, another incredible year. Almost 4,400 yards, 41 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Javonte, 648 and 6 touchdowns. It's just not doing it. Receiving 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. Tez Johnson with 16 touchdowns. Justin Pitts with 10. And Jerry Jeudy with 5. Costanzo with 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. Javonte with 3. I mean, we were such a pass-heavy offense. I don't know why we started losing games. Defensively, Jay Higgins leading the way in tackles with 141. Tyleik Williams leading the way in TFLs with 10. And Tyleik Williams leading the way in sacks with 6. Michael Williams just not getting those sack numbers. Neither is Jose McQueen. We kind of need some more out of those guys, and I don't know how we're going to get it. 6 picks for Denzel Ward, 3 for Grant Delpit, 2 for JOK, 2 for Greg Newsome, 2 for George McLeod, 1 for Jay Higgins, and 1 for Keontae Scott. And taking a look at our award winners, Drew Allar finds himself at 6 in the MVP running. We're not going to be in Coach of the Year because we failed in the second half. Offensive Player of the Year, Tez Johnson at 8. That's crazy. Defensive Player of the Year, I mean, but Bill's got both. Denzel Ward at 10. Offensive Rookie, Tatum at 9. Defensive Rookie, George McLeod at 2. Best quarterback, Drew Allar at 5. Best running back, we're not going to be on that list. Best wide receiver, Tez Johnson at 3. Justin Pitts at 8. Best offensive lineman, we have nobody on the list. Best defensive lineman, we don't even have anybody on that list. Best linebacker, nobody's going to be there for Ooh, whoa. Jay Higgins at 10. Best defensive back goes to Denzel Ward. Best kicker, nobody on the list. I thought somebody had 2 of them there. I do want to see if we got any dev traits. We're probably going to check again next week after the Super Bowl. And Drew Allar goes up to Superstar Dev. That could be huge for us. Defensively, Jay Higgins goes up to Superstar Dev. Another big step for us. And the Washington Commanders win the Super Bowl 31-21 over the Los Angeles Chargers. And now we can see what dev traits stuck. Drew Allar does keep his superstar dev. That's going to be huge for us next year. Defensively, Jay Higgins does lose his, and so does Payne, but Payne's getting his back. All right, well, I fixed that because those guys aren't losing their dev traits. They shouldn't have at all. I don't know why Madden would make them, but nobody else loses. I mean, you have the 2 rookies that didn't play at all lose their dev traits. Everybody else stays the same, though. No up or downs outside of Jay Higgins. And taking a look at re-signings, we're obviously going to accept the option of Michael Williams and Tyleik Williams. Both of those guys will stay. Javonte's starting to regress, and everybody else I just think can go. We're going to try to replace Allar Jackson in the draft this year, and that's just going to be how the team falls. Did Dustin Hopkins really fall off that much? Jesus, 37. All right, well, we have the money this time. We're going after Jahmyr Gibbs. He's an incredible player. I hope we get him. And we do. We fix our running back issue. There weren't any offensive line I wanted to go after. No scheme fits. They were all really old. So we'll focus that in the draft. I mean, we have a ton of picks still. And we don't really have any big needs. So we can just draft best player available at whatever pick we have. Well, we traded up for pick 1 here in the draft because there was just a player we had to have in Quincy Taylor, a top 5 talent out wide receiver. Like I said, we need that superstar guy. I'm hoping this is him. All right, and we're making another trade here to trade back into the first round. I just want to get a really good guard to try to shore up the tackle thing and get all that straight. So we're trading up with Atlanta. We're trading Jerry Jeudy, backup left outside linebacker, and a 6 for the first round. I think we got our number 1 guy. We just took a guy with the 1 of 1. So we're going to go ahead and go to 26, get us a guard. And Courtney Stoudemire is going to be the guy that we bring in here. Ranked at 29, a hidden depth guard. We get to move Hayes back out to that tackle spot, and our offensive line is going to be in tip-top shape. All right, bringing in another receiver. I don't know why. He looks decent. Round 2 to 3 talent. In round 2, normal dev. Not a big deal. Okay, so here, I just drafted a punter. I wasn't going to record this. He was ranked 1. This is the best player in the entire draft. A punter, a hidden dev punter. So here we are taking a look at the draft recap, and oh my gosh, the punter is an 86 overall. That's incredible. What? I've never seen that. I have never seen that. An 86 overall punter. That's insane. Andy Plummer wasn't good, but Courtney Stoudemire and Quincy Taylor, both phenomenal. Hopefully some superstar dev there. I know the punter's got to be superstar dev. But I've never seen that. All right, so yeah, that's the draft recap. I'm going to get these guys plugged in, and we'll see y'all at the beginning of year 4. And we have an incredible team going into year 4. As Hayes actually is hurt, which is not great. But the rest of the team looks fantastic. We brought in Jahmyr Gibbs. We have Drew Allar. We have some true playmakers on this team. I know we got rid of Jerry Jeudy, but I think these guys and our rookie this year can take it over the top. Costanzo's still developing very well. The offensive line looks fantastic. Defensively, we have a lot of playmakers. Payne is a superstar. Williams is still a superstar. He's yet to have over 7 sacks in a season, which is insane. This is a team we could easily take 10 years, and I'm going to tell y'all this. If we get to 30 likes on this video, I will do an additional 5 years with this team because they are so young. We have the cap. We can do a lot with this team. So go ahead and get this video to 30 likes, and if you do, we'll see a part 2 to this rebuild with this newfound Browns team. Now let's go ahead and get in to year 4 and see if we can finally make a decent playoff push with this team. Well, here at the midseason, we do have some players to re-sign, and this is where this money can get tricky and get tied up. As Drew Allar, we are going to keep around for another 6 years. He stays. Jay Higgins, we would like to keep around, and I'm not going to change it from 3 years. I'm just going to keep that the way it is. We get him to sign on, and Tez Johnson wants to stay. And I think this is another thing where we just kind of move that like that. And we take that $16 million and we just move on with it. I don't think we need to re-sign anybody else. We'll accept both of these 5th-year options and just... Actually, we might not. We might be able to replace... Well, I don't know. Maybe Mike Hayes we accept. Jose McQueen we'll have to see. And we are 5-2, which I enjoy, but our defense does not seem to be doing good. And I think we should be better because if you look at our stats, Drew Allar, 1,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, looking to have another fantastic year. Why is Jahmyr Gibbs not getting a bulk of the carries? I don't know if he was hurt. I don't know what happened. But for him to have less carries than Katron Allen, that's an issue. He's done more with fewer carries. So hopefully he can get rolling here in the second half of the year. Receiving, Brody Costanzo leading the way, 482, 5 touchdowns. Pitts with 416 and 6. Quincy Taylor with 311 and 4. Tez Johnson 253 and 2. Defensively, JOK leading the way in tackles. Tyleik Williams leading the way in TFLs again, and Tyleik Williams leading the way in sacks. Mike Payne second in sacks. I mean, Michael Williams just I don't know why Madden does this. He's a superstar dev. He's almost 90 overall. 2 sacks at the midseason. Grant Delpit with 4 picks, 2 for JOK, 2 for Denzel Ward, and 1 for George McLeod. Well, Jahmyr Gibbs sadly is hurt. Let's see what the injury is here. Hamstring tear. He's only out for a week. A hamstring tear? Probably happened a while ago. He's got 1 week left. So hopefully when we get him back in a week, we'll be good to go. Quincy Taylor is superstar X Factor. We're moving him over Tez Johnson. I want Tez Johnson in the slot, kind of. Stoudemire is a superstar dev guard. That's awesome to see. Defensively, I don't even think we drafted anybody defensively or had dev traits. We won't see Vo's dev trait. Well, we might. I mean, that's all. How has he gotten so many snaps? Does that mean we've punted the ball 435 times? That's insane. Yeah, Brandon Aubrey, he's going to stay the kicker. I like where that stuff's sitting. And we're going to go ahead and get to the playoffs. Of course, I'll stop and do some focus scouting because, I mean, we're only in year 4, so we got a whole nother year and another draft. As long as nothing terrible happens, we'll see y'all at the playoffs. Man, am I tired of this. We go down to 9-8. Now, we do get a chance in the wild card, but we drop to the 4th seed. We go 9-8. Like, I stopped to do the focus scouting. We were 8-3. How do we go 1-5 to end of the year? We keep falling off at the end of the year. Every year, I don't know if we're getting injuries. I don't know what's happening. But it has been, and Drew Allar's hurt. Why? I'm from dislocated ankle out for 4 weeks. I am very interested in turning injuries off. Quincy Taylor, though, developing nicely. Same with Stoudemire. The rest of the team looking to develop nicely. We don't really have any dev traits we're looking for. I'm just looking to see how people are developing. And I guess Drew Allar's been out for a while, but that would make sense why George Lenz is really struggling. 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 picks. 28-7 for Drew Allar. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs missed half the season, too. We just can't catch a break for nothing. Receiving, Brody Costanzo leading the way. Quincy Taylor right behind him. Justin Pitts having a good year. Defensively, JOK and Jay Higgins tied for tackles. Tyleik Williams with TFLs at 14. And Mike Payne leading the way in sacks with 12. Tyleik Williams with 9.5. Jose McQueen with 4.5. Michael Williams with 4.5. He'll probably lose his dev trait this year. 6 picks for Grant Delpit. 3 for JOK. 3 for Denzel Ward. 2 for Greg Newsome. And 1 for George McLeod. Well, we're in our 4th year, so we're going to go ahead and hop into this game against Tennessee. Try to get a win. I mean, Drew Allar's hurt, but 4 weeks, he might be able to come back for the Super Bowl if we can make it. Well, we're in Cleveland. It's probably the first playoff game in Cleveland in forever. But we are going to jump to the end of the game. We'll hop in if we have to. I'm hoping we can score some as we have a tie game 7-7. We just need to hand the ball off. That is the whole 14-10, 21-10, 24-10, 27-10. That's going to be game over. 27-17. We take down the Tennessee Titans. And George Lenz, not great stats, but a touchdown. He didn't turn the ball over. Jahmyr Gibbs, again, not a lot of yards, but a touchdown. Gentry Sparks with a touchdown. Tez Johnson with the only receiving touchdown. Defensively, George McLeod led the way in tackles. A TFL for Mike Payne. 4 sacks for Tyleik Williams. 1 for Michael Williams. And a pick for Greg Newsome. And a pick for Denzel Ward. And we have, we're going to be underdogs once again as we have to take on Denver here. in Mile High Stadium, but I have faith in our team. I have faith that we can do it. Let's get to the Super Bowl so we can get our quarterback back. Well, we are going to go to the end of the game. Hopefully, we can get on top as Denver scores first, but we answer back. It is 17-7, 24-7. Not looking good for us. I am going to go ahead and try to jump in and play. I might not show a lot of it, but if I'm able to get as close, then maybe I will show some of it. Well, we end up losing. I couldn't pull it closer. It's just tough with that quarterback. And Bo Nix had an incredible game. But George Lenz, I mean, he threw 2 picks. We couldn't do a lot there. Rushing, Jahmyr Gibbs did pretty good, but just didn't stay consistent enough. Receiving, it didn't seem anybody really got going. Quincy Taylor did have a touchdown that we threw to him. Defensively, Jay Higgins led the way in tackles. 1 TFL for Mike Payne. No sacks, no interceptions. Well, we didn't find ourselves in the playoffs, and it's probably not looking good for any awards, as we did just only go 9-8. And Drew Allar got hurt, so he's not going to be in any of these. Defensive Player of the Year, Grant Delpit at 9. Offensive Rookie does go to the wide receiver, Quincy Taylor, which is nice. Defensive Rookie, we don't have anybody on that list. Best quarterback, not going to be there. Best running back, not going to be there because Jahmyr Gibbs was hurt. Best receiver, nobody on the list. Best offensive lineman, nobody there. Best defensive lineman, Mike Payne at 5. Tyleik Williams at 7. Best linebacker, JOK at 9. Best defensive back goes to Grant Delpit. And best kicker, we are not on the list. And the Broncos did end up winning the Super Bowl. They had a really good team they put together. They beat the Cardinals 37-31. And taking a look at our depth traits, Costanzo does go up to superstar depth. Hayes is hurt again. But nobody else lost on offense, so I really, I like that. Defensively, Jose McQueen goes up to superstar dev. Jay Higgins goes up to star dev. Denzel Ward drops down to star. I don't understand that, but I'm not going to complain about it. I will let our defensive line be fantastic. And taking a look at our re-signings we need to do. Of course, we are going to accept Jose McQueen's option because he just went up to superstar dev. Same with Mike Hayes. And we are not re-signing anybody else. And just in case y'all really want me to do a 10-year or another 5 years added onto this, I am actually not going to sign anybody this free agency class. We don't have a lot of money, only $45 million. We're going to roll that over because I know we have players to re-sign next year. And we're at the draft. Of course, we do not have a first-round pick because we traded we traded it to the Dallas Cowboys for the next couple of years. So we're going to get, we don't have a second or third this year. We got a fourth. We are going to draft the best available corner, which seems to be Mike Bryan here. So let's go ahead and bring him on board. Denzel Ward's getting old. We got to look to build. Hidden dev, fantastic. And taking a look at the draft recap, we didn't have a lot of picks this year. We're not going to focus on it. Mike Bryan, we brought in. He's a hidden dev. He's a good backup corner to just kind of let the rotation keep where it's at. Well, this is what the team's looking like before we go into year 5, and I'm very confident with this team. We have our superstars, superstar X factors now. Drew Allar has developed fantastically, playing up to a 94 overall. The offensive line looks fantastic. We brought in Jahmyr Gibbs, Quincy Taylor, Justin Pitts, Tez Johnson. The offense is great. Defensively, Jay Higgins up to a superstar X factor. The D-line looks good. The only place we can really, really improve, I think, is left outside linebacker. Our safeties are good. Our corners are good. And we have a lot of pipeline guys that are ready to move up and just take that next step and get on the field regularly to develop. So I have nothing to worry about. I'm ready to get into the year, and we'll see y'all at the midseason. Well, we just had a DL breakout, and Michael Williams is going up to Superstar X Factor development. That's awesome. I don't care what the goal is. He went up to Superstar X Factor. I have nothing to complain about. Now, at the midseason, we are only 3-3, which is concerning because we're a 91 overall team. We do have some players to re-sign, like Michael Williams, and we're gonna re-sign him. He can't fully commit yet, but we'll get there. Brody Costanzo, another player that we want to re-sign. He wants to be here. Justin Pitts doesn't really want to be here, but we're going to try to keep him on. And then we're in trouble because we don't have a lot of money and we have a lot of people to try to re-sign. It got deep. We got 9 mil. We'd have to do some moving around in the future. Now, taking a look at the stats, Drew Allar, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, 305 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. That's not great. Receiving, Quincy Taylor leading the way, no touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for Tez Johnson. Justin Pitts with 5. Jay Higgins leading the way in tackles. Tyleik Williams, of course, in TFLs. And Tyleik Williams in sacks, as always. Michael Williams not far behind him. Hopefully, with that Superstar X Factor, he can start getting a couple more sacks. Jay Higgins with 2 picks. Greg Newsome with 2. 1 for JOK, 1 for Grant Delpit, and 1 for Terrence Youngblood. Well, we've gone over all this. I'm going to stop, do some focus scouting, just in case I have to take this all the way. We're 3-3. Hopefully, we can make the playoffs here in year 5. Well, I don't know what to do, guys. We go 8-9. We don't make the playoffs. A 93 overall team. I mean, our defense is a 93 overall, and look where we rank. 22 in rush yard, or not 20, 13 in points, 23 in pass yards a game, and 22 in rush yards a game. I don't know what to do. And offensively, I mean, Drew Allar had a fantastic year. 4,600 yards, 38 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's incredible. Jahmyr Gibbs, close to 1,000 yards, only 5 touchdowns, though, which is tough. Quincy Taylor over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Tez Johnson over 1,000 and 7 touchdowns. Costanzo and 9 touchdowns. Justin Pitts with 10 touchdowns. Defensively, Jay Higgins led the way in tackles. Tyleik Williams in TFLs. And Tyleik Williams in sacks with 15. 7 for Michael Williams. 3.5 for Mike Payne. 4 picks for Greg Newsome, 3 for Jay Higgins, 3 for Denzel Ward, 2 for Grant Delpit, 1 for JOK, 1 for George McLeod, and 1 for Terrence Youngblood. Well, taking a look at the yearly awards, Drew Allar worked his way up to 4th on the MVP rankings. We're not going to be in the Coach of the Year going 8-9 and missing the playoffs. Offensive Player of the Year, Drew Allar at 4. Defensive Player of the Year, Tyleik Williams at 3. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we don't have anybody on the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody is there. Best Quarterback, Drew Allar at 4. Best Running Back, Jahmyr Gibbs at 9. Best Wide Receiver, not on the list. Best Offensive Lineman, Stoudemire at 7. Best defensive lineman, Tyleik Williams at 3. Best linebacker, Jay Higgins at 10. Best defensive back, Greg Newsome at 3. And Denzel Ward at 8. And best kicker, Matthew Ford at 5. Which is interesting. I thought I can't remember who I thought our kicker was, but I didn't know it was Matthew Ford. And in a rematch of the Arizona Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, our division rival, end up winning the Super Bowl 21-20. Another nail biter. And guys, I'm not sure what more I could have done. I mean, take a look at this team. This team is incredible. I don't know how do you make this team better? We have 4 superstar dev X factors on offense, a superstar lineman, several other good linemen, 3 good receiving options, Jahmyr Gibbs, Drew Allar. Everything worked perfectly. Defensively, I mean, a 92 overall superstar X factor defensive lineman that has yet to have over 10 sacks in a season. 2 defensive tackles, 87 overall plus. A right end that's over 85 overall. A corners galore. Good safeties. We would need to replace Grant Delpit coming up. JOK is probably going to need to be replaced soon, but Jay Higgins, really good, young. Amon McAllister, really good, young. Our punter is superstar dev freak that we would probably re-sign. So I don't know how we make this team better. A 92 overall. And I want to take a look and see what our overall is compared to everybody else. We're a 92 overall. And I would guarantee we are the highest overall team currently. Looking at it, we're the highest overall by a bit. I mean, Pittsburgh just won the Super Bowl. We're 92 overall, 95 offense, 89 defense. Pittsburgh's 87, 91 offense, 84 defense, and we couldn't score on them. And then Arizona was the other team in the Super Bowl. What are they? 87, 87, 87. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But that's going to end it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as we are on our journey to try to become a big-time Madden YouTuber. Until next time, y'all, have a good one.